Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary was established in 1998, and in 2018 we make 20 years. Our mission has been to promote chimpanzee conservation and environmental management for sustainable development. There are lots of things that we have achieved. Some key ones. Ngamba is rated as the model sanctuary in Africa. We have taken initiative in implementing some conservation programs that have been leading projects in the world, including the payment for ecosystem services in Western Uganda, where we used a randomized evaluation and tested whether if private forest owners were motivated with cash money, if they would be able to protect their forest, keep it intact instead of cutting it down to grow crops. And that study was the first of the kind in the whole world, funded by United Nations Environment Program. And that study proved that, yes, if people get cash money, they would be motivated to protect their forests, which would in turn protect the habitat of the wildlife that we have. We have developed systems and structures within the organization that enables the organization to run in a very professional manner. And we are also being considered, Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary is being considered as a model sanctuary, not just for what we do with animal welfare, but in terms of our organizational management systems. We have made achievements in reaching out to the general public in terms of educating them about the importance of wildlife, and specifically chimpanzees as an endangered species. Chimpanzees are important for Uganda because it's our heritage. They are the closest to man. They bring in foreign exchange. Next to mountain gorillas, that brings in the volume of tourists to Uganda, is chimpanzees next. Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary has played a very key role in promoting tourism in the country as well. We get averagely 4,000 international tourists coming to Ngamba Island each year, and these are individuals who specifically are interested in chimpanzees and the work that Ngamba Island is doing. But when they come to visit Ngamba, they don't just stop here. They get to visit Marciton Falls, Queen Elizabeth, Lake Mburo, and this brings in money to the country. But on top of that, we also are providing employment. 100% the staff of Ngamba Island are all Ugandans. Yes, we open up opportunity for international student interns, volunteers, so that we are able to also gain knowledge and certain skills from the international community. But in terms of full-time employment, we are all Ugandans, and we are proud that for this kind of a project, we are able to manage it as Ugandans. Those are some of the key achievements, but there's a lot more that we have achieved. And the challenges remain that the cause of having Ngamba Island continues to be there. What is the cause? The cause is the problem that the chimpanzees are facing in the wild. And the threats to them are, one is deforestation. Their habitats are being destroyed. Illegal wildlife trade. We have most of the chimpanzees that is at Ngamba Island. We have rescued them from Entebbe Airport, Malaba, Busia, border points, as they are being smuggled out of the country. That is a big problem. We know that this is not only happening with chimpanzees. Ivory has been a big talk in this country, plus other, wildlife species in this country as well. We have the challenge, specifically at an organizational level, we have the challenge with financial sustainability. We continue to struggle. We want to do more in the area that we are doing, but we are constrained, with the required resources. And for that matter, we have given the theme of the Ngamba 20 years anniversary as a journey of a million miles. This is coming from the background that years ago, the records indicate there were over 1 million chimpanzees in Africa. Right now, as we talk, the records indicate there are not more than 200,000 left. And this is with the fact that chimpanzees are naturally only found on the continent of Africa. We had 25 countries in the equatorial belt of Africa with chimpanzees. In the last 15 years, 4 countries in Western Africa have lost all their chimpanzees. Their chimpanzees have gone extinct. We are still lucky to be having up to a population of 5,000 chimpanzees in the wild in Uganda, as per the 2002 population census that we did. As to where we are now, whether the population is stable, increasing, decreasing, we cannot tell that until we do another census, which is one project that we are prioritizing for the next 1 to 2 years to get done.
Viewing these chimpanzees when they are feeding, for their guests, it's between 11 and 2:30. Then 8 and 6:30, and even these others of 11 and 2:30 can be done by guests who are going to spend the night. Because remember, we open for them in the morning hours, then we bring them back into the holding facility at 6:30. So you can see that when you are going when you are to spend the night with us. Otherwise, they are fed basically on vegetables and fruits, like watermelon, pineapples, oranges, eggplants, carrots, jackfruit, etc. There are quite many. But once in a while, we supplement them with boiled eggs as a way of getting proteins from the eggs, in that chimpanzees in the wild, they carry out communal hunting. But now our residents here, they don't have a privilege of carrying out that activity because there are only wild animals which are staying into the forest. So as a sort of supplementing them onto their diet, we opted to give them boiled eggs once a week. Ngamba Island started in 1998, and to date we are marking our 20th anniversary, where we have achieved a couple of achievements, and amongst them is the increment in the number of tourists that we receive on the island. basically to come and view the chimpanzees. And also on the other aspect of chimpanzee conservation, because from 1998 to 2012, we used so much to rescue a number of chimpanzees. But from 2012 to date, we haven't had any chimp rescue, which means that people's attitude towards chimpanzees has really changed. Now people, they are aware of the repercussions or the threats which are really affecting chimpanzee population, the fact that they are endangered species. Then on the other aspect of communities, we have done a couple of projects which are really geared towards elevating these locals from poverty. And in other words, we call that program as the Sustainable Living on Lake Victoria, where we've had several projects, and indeed they have helped out community members, and they are happy of establishing this sanctuary next to their homes or next to their communities. In 1998, we started with 19 chimpanzees that we rescued. Then within that time, of course, challenges were there. First of all, we are entering into a program which has never been done in Uganda, you know. So of course you expect challenges, for example, diseases which were affecting the chimpanzees, also caring for them in form of food, medically, you know. Finances, by then we needed them, even up to date we still need those finances. So, you know, those are some of the challenges, you know, which we had as in when we are setting up this project. Our main objective is to reintroduce these chimpanzees back in the wild, because as CITES stated it, these are endangered species. That means their population is really declining. But before reintroduction is carried out, there are a couple of factors which have to be put in consideration. Yes, you've mentioned about Kibali, taking them back to Kibali. But as in the factors to consider, Kibali is not the best place where to take these chimpanzees, because naturally chimpanzees, they are territorial. They always fight for their territory. So that is one of the first factors to consider. Already Kibali National Park has gotten existing communities of chimpanzees. Now, if these residents are taken back in such a forest, the chances of survival, they are very, very, very less. So there is no any option of them surviving. Secondly, there are a few of these chimpanzees which are born in captivity. You imagine if we happen to pick an American from America and we just bring him into Africa, say to Kalamoja, don't you think that individual is not really going to, to make it through? Yeah, because of the challenges he's going to encounter. So it's the same thing. A few of these chimps are born in captivity, where they have good food, where they sleep well, where they have good medication. Now, if they are taken back into the wild, the chances of survival, they are really very less. So they might not survive. Thirdly, chimpanzees in captivity can live up to around 60 years of age. But then, in the wild, they live between 45 to 50. We have a few residents here which have reached already 40 years, which means if they are taken back into the wild, they will live for a shorter time, then die off. And yet here in captivity, they can persist and live up to 60 years. So we are looking at those factors, but in the future, if we happen to find a forest with no existing chimpanzees and with no conflicts from the communities, there are a few individuals which will be taken back in the wild, like 15 of them. Normally, from our records, we receive between 4,500 to 5,000 international guests, actually including also the locals, Ugandans. A year. Yes. No. But now, that one also depends so much on the factors which are these guys, are experiencing into their countries. Because remember, you have the peak and the low season. Yeah. So if the economy is not on their side, of course it does affect us as Besides chimpanzee as one of the tourist attraction or something to to bring you on the island, we have a couple of other wildlife ranging from birds of different species. Actually, we have over 200 bird species which you can't miss when you visit the island. Then we have small mammals in form of the mongoose. They are into the forest. And we have also the Nile monitor lizards. We have snakes ranging from pythons to the smallest. Then we also have another unique species of mammals. Those are the fruit. Is it mammals? They are not mammals, but the fruit bats. And they are called the straw-colored fruit bats. They migrate from different colonies neighboring the sanctuary or even in Uganda. Then they come and patch into our forest. Yes, we are monitoring them, and there are some months where their population increases, then the other months decreases. So it's also another venture, by the way, for research. And actually I'm encouraging researchers who are researching on the ecology of the bats. Please, we have a couple of them here where you can carry out a study. One of the reasons as to why these chimpanzees are here, it's not that we want to get money out of them. Our main mission is to rescue them, give them a safe haven, or rehabilitate them. Many of these chimpanzees are rescued or are confiscated from people's homes where they are using them as pets, and the few ones which are illegally exported to outside country or sold out to outside country. Of recent, the market was in United States, but now because of the increasing animal activities, at the same time the increasing awareness, now Americans and other few countries, they have gotten to know the repercussions which they are causing on to the chimpanzee population. But currently, the market for baby chimpanzees is in the United Arab Emirates. People need them to use them as in format of status, as a swag, Someone likes driving a nice car when a chimp is seated in the passenger seat, a leopard behind, a lion, So in such a scenario, a couple of these chimpanzees are killed. Because remember, chimpanzees, they have that sort of human nature, in that the mothers, they always have a special bond, with their young ones. So removing a baby from the mother, as a mother, she has to come in and defend the young one. So eventually the mother is killed. And remember, they are living in what we call a community. With a community, you find the mother is there, the father is there, the uncle is there, a brother is there. So in many occasions when they have killed the mother, other individuals also come in to defend the baby, such that it's not taken away from them. So a couple of them are killed, between 8 to 10. So far we have 46 chimpanzees in total, which have been rescued from people's homes. So just multiply by 10. That is the number so far we have lost. Yeah. However, in total we are taking care of 49 chimpanzees.
The sanctuary, Ngamba Island, we have 49 chimpanzees, and these chimpanzees are close, to humans in terms of DNA. Humans share with the chimpanzees DNA at the level of 98.7%. And so in terms of the medical issues that we attend to as veterinarians, the issues are similar to what happens in humans. So what we do as far as health is concerned, we do observe these chimpanzees on a daily basis as we are feeding them at the feeding platform, and also as they return to the holding facility where they spend a night. And also very early in the morning when we wake up, we have to observe these animals when they are waking up, their hammocks. Because we know if chimpanzees probably return to the holding facility when they have an illness that is developing within their bodies, in the morning this illness is able to the signs are able to be seen. So that's why we have to observe them early in the morning before they leave the holding facility, and then also when they return to the holding facility. Yeah. In addition to that, once in a while we get issues with the chimpanzees, especially injuries, because these chimpanzees live in a community where there's a lot of competition, and that results into regular fights amongst themselves. The fights are due to mates, they fight for food, they fight for hierarchy, and in the case of injuries, we have a clinic where we do attend to those that are severely injured by stitching up the wound if the wound is so deep. But if the wound is minor, we attend to them in the holding facility where they sleep by just spraying with an antiseptic or giving them some antibiotics when necessary. And the good thing with the chimps is that they behave more like a human, and that those that have injuries, they are able to present the wound for you to apply medicine, which is very interesting and good on our side, because it makes our work as vets very easy.
My name is Sarah Marshall-Pashini. I am a researcher now. I came to Ngamba Island the first time in 1998. I was part of the first team of volunteers that brought the chimpanzees to Ngamba Island and followed it around the forest to make sure that they didn't fall into the lake or do any other silly things. And at that time we were also collecting information on the chimps on how they would behave in the forest. And after this initial period, I came back a couple of years later to do studies on how chimpanzees learn from each other. And this was part of my PhD with St. Andrews University. And I stayed here until 2003. And now, almost 20 years later, I have come back for a little time, and I am helping to look at how Ngamba has changed and has evolved in the last 20 years, and also making recommendations on how to make the place even more special. And what I have found is absolutely amazing. The chimpanzees are looking fantastic. The research that has been done here in the last 20 years is of the highest quality in the world. And I have just spent this morning also with the communities on the Komi Islands to look at how Ngamba has been helping the communities around, and they have also been incredibly affected in the best possible way in their developments, from sanitation to the schooling to the crafts that the women do to be able to have small incomes. So it seems that Ngamba has really grown incredibly in the last 20 years on all the different aspects.
My name is Gavin Brady. I am currently a seal biologist. I work for NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and for the Marine Mammal Lab in Seattle, Washington. I work with seals in Alaska. I first came to the island in 1999 and stayed here for 1 year. At that time, things were just getting started here on the island in terms of visitors coming to the island. Much of the facilities had yet to be built. We had a different holding facility at that time. Many of the buildings, the A-frame, for instance, were not here yet. I was here for a year, I believe I said that. My major contribution was to complete various construction projects that were underway on the island. And I, along with several others, built the A-frame here. that's currently used as a visitor meeting center and cafeteria. I'm amazed at how far the island has come. Just the facilities are so far improved. It's in many ways unrecognizable. The resource center, the holding facility, the veterinary clinic are all brand new, or all new to me, that is. And the island seems to be working so well. The management is doing such a fantastic job. I'm very, very impressed. Very happy to see all the changes. Well, it's my experience with traveling in Uganda are almost entirely from previous visits. I've actually, for starters, my wife and I spent quite a long time in Chibali Forest at the Kanyanchu site, working with UA to further the habituation project there. Also we worked for some months in Semliki on an habituation project there as well. We also had opportunity to visit Mugihinga, Queen Elizabeth, Murchison, Mount Elgon, Jinja.
My name is John Wall. I'm from Ottawa, Canada, and I came to Ngamba Island in 2001, and I spent most of that year here to work on the Sustainable Living in Lake Victoria project. So this was a project to help the communities on the surrounding islands to benefit from the Chimpanzee Sanctuary, and we helped people start businesses, we helped some sanitation projects and also schools in the area. So coming back 17 years later, I see that all these projects have been successful, and that even better now, there's new projects and better programs for the communities. And my advice to Ngamba Island is to keep it up, because there's always new ways to help make progress with the communities. And I visited some of the communities and learned that the people really appreciate the work that Ngamba Island is doing. So I want to salute the people here who are doing that work and encourage them to keep it up.
Hi, my name's Barb Cartwright, and I first came to Ngamba Island and the Chimpanzee Sanctuary Wildlife Conservation Trust in 2001. I came here to help start an education program on Ngamba Island for the tourists and visitors that come and see us every day, and also for the local communities on the Komi Islands that surround us. I also helped work on the Sustainable Living on Lake Victoria program, which was aiming to bring income and resource generation as well as sustainable living practices to the Komi Islands in order to be a really good partner and community member with the Komi Islands. And so we're back after 17 years, which is really exciting. And we came back here to do an evaluation of those two programs. So that was really amazing. And what we're seeing from that evaluation is Ngamba Island and CSWCT is doing an amazing job, not only taking care of the chimpanzees here, working on conservation of the wild chimpanzees up country, but also really doing an amazing job building relationships with the local communities and ensuring that we're all working on conservation together. And what I would encourage is that CSWCT continues on the same path and works even harder to ensure the protection of this beautiful place and the chimpanzees.
My name is Linda Veit Rostrom. I'm born in Sweden, but I live in the United States now. I came here as a volunteer. Mostly I did infant care, because at that time a lot of the there were a lot of chimpanzee infants that were being confiscated by the Uganda Wildlife Authority. And when the orphans come in, they had to be in quarantine at Uwek first. And so I would stay at the back of the zoo and care for the babies, and then bring them out here and help to introduce the infants to the other chimps. And I'd come back for the 20th anniversary celebration, and it's been absolutely amazing.
My name is Fanny Martinez. I come from the U.S. and I've been volunteering at Ngamba Island since 2015. I was referred to this place by friends who highly recommended it because of my obsession with wildlife. And so I decided what I volunteered was my services and skills I have, which are my background is marketing and human resources. And I also donated books that I brought from the U.S., reading books for their educational programs. But I pretty much have done all the activities here as far as caregiving for the chimps. I help around the camp. I help with the guests. And I just utterly love this place and everything they stand for. The staff is awesome, and really just their guardianship programs and everything. They really do protect these chimps. So I just decided to continue to volunteer. I think this is like my 15th time here. I cannot have enough of this place. It's the most magical place I've ever been in.
My name is Lachlan. I was born in Ottawa, Canada. I live in Ottawa, Canada. I am 12 years old. My parents were here in 2001, and I heard a lot of stories about here, but Ngamba was everything I expected and more. The wildlife here is amazing. There's 250 species of birds, and my friend and I discovered the 251st species. But you can't come without seeing the chimps. They're amazing. We walked to the jungle a couple days ago, when they're coming back, when I called and they responded, it was like I was so happy I could fly. Ngamba is amazing. I plan on coming back and doing so much more. Thank you.
My name's Skylar. I live in Canada, Ottawa, Ontario. It's my first time here. I'm really loving it. I really like it here. You can come here, not knowing the 200 species of birds, but you can't come here without seeing the chimps. They're really amazing, and I am really excited to come back already.
My name is Gilliam. I live in Seattle, Washington, America, and I am 13 years old. Me and my family are here because of the 20-year anniversary of Ngamba Island. I absolutely love it here. This has probably been one of the best experiences of my life. Just birding, taking pictures, and feeding the chimps. It's all been like incredible. I will really miss this place, and I hope I can come back soon.
The one who is actually complaining, that is called Robbie. Robbie was one of the first alpha males. They need that for 5 years. Behind him is the vice. And then he was also read. So you can see this. How can you call that now? That is surprise one. The one behind. The baby is called Aurelia. So this one is